Did you feel it? Did you feel it in that last moment when I hit this one before I struck this one? Did you feel the information come in to our container for the session today? I want to invite you to start paying attention to the changes that we experience on the subtle when we come together, and then you'll begin to notice how they show up in your day-to-day life, because there's so much happening beneath the level of your conscious awareness, but you can become conscious of it if you start tuning yourself to those levels of perception, which is a lot of what I do with you, each week, and with my clients and my groups, etc. I really invite people to shift their perspective, to pay attention to things that they might not have noticed before, opening up your level of awareness to perceive and receive in new ways. It enhances your intuition. It creates a sense of safety and groundedness in the body, and all sorts of magical things happen when we begin to pay attention to things that we don't normally pay attention to. It's like we're breaking out of the programming in another way. So, yes, welcome everybody to your weekly moment of inner alchemy. I'm 𝙩𝙤𝙙𝙖𝙮. I am your guide and an acupuncturist, sound healer, and clairvoyant. And I've been doing this work in one form or another for over 22 years, helping people awaken the healing intelligence of the body-mind to live a vibrationally healthy life. So bringing all of those dissonant states and dis-ease in the field and your energetic and physical bodies back into balance and alignment, restoring the harmony and flow of your vital life force, so you can live a life of health, of wellness, of vitality in all areas. Because when we are disconnected and things aren't flowing in one area, over time it ripples and will start to flood other areas of our life. So everything is connected through you. And so what you might be experiencing as neck pain can be symptomatic of a lot of other things in your life that you might not be happy with. And so we bring these things back into balance, bring you back into alignment with your heart's music, with your heart self, your soul self, restore that flow, and life will begin to balance itself in relationship to this new state. This is something that I do encourage people to do, regularly. Just like acupuncture, you want to come in for regular sessions because you want to continue to infuse your body with new information. So at some point it can begin to sustain it on its own, and then we'll work on another level or layer of things that you're presenting with. So I always invite and encourage you to review these sessions as often as you need to. Every time you take them will be relevant for you at that time, or come to one of my other sessions. You're always welcome. We have a Double the Love Foundation online community clinic that we launched a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just having wonderful feedback and results from clients who have been able to decrease and alleviate their pain, find new levels of calm, make connections for themselves, eliminate blocks in their body and their DNA, and it's just really wonderful. So it is April. We're just starting April, and we have our next session for sonic acupuncture next Tuesday, actually April 11th. So the link is in the description for you to register. It is an online community clinic. All proceeds go to benefit Double the Love Foundation, which is my 501c3 nonprofit, whose mission is to provide affordable sonic and holistic care to those in need, and everyone is welcome. It is a sliding scale. So do register for that event. We also are featuring this month a guest practitioner from Portugal, Tiago Araújo, who's a trance healer facilitator, very masterful guide. and such a beautiful space. I've received these sessions many times, so I also invite you to sign up for that, and that is also in the description, the same link. You can access both sessions. And yeah, there's so many opportunities for you to bring more light into your life. We are really being asked right now, and I see this more and more, and I feel it within my own being. You know, if we are here together, there's a soul agreement that is bringing us together to really do this work that we've chosen to do, which is to transmute these denser energies and anchor in the light that's coming through. And when you take care of your own vibrational health, you have a global impact. So there's so much power in you showing up for yourself and taking care of yourself and doing this work that, you know, I honor that. And that's part of my mission, is to harmonize the nature of oneself. Sorry, something popped up on my screen. I got a little distracted there. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive into the drawing. Okay, and let me know who's here. Let me know where you're tuning in from today. Okay, here we go. So this sounds like a lot of grumbling, angry people standing together, almost like a mob, you know, when there's just a bunch of angry men standing together. Like there's a sound to it that I hear. And I do see men, otherwise I would have said women as well, but it does look like primarily men from what I'm seeing. So they're all just kind of standing around grumbling. And then it's interesting. So they're kind of at the center of this circle. And as you can see, there are lines on the outside of that. There's another circle of people around them who are kind of telling them what to say, telling them what to grumble, but their backs are to these people. So they don't realize that what they're grumbling about, they're actually told to grumble about, okay? So they're all discontented and disgruntled, and they don't even realize that they're being told and fed information, that they're just repeating that without awareness. And I don't even know how to explain the information with that one. Let me just keep drawing. But there is another tier here of, I'm going to say, those who control the information. They're not even human figures. They're more shadowy figures, so they don't even have a human density to me. They're really in the shadows. It almost looks like a table with the shadowy figures around them, like we see in some of those films. Okay, so here they are. They're actually whispering. So this outer level are those who are whispering, and it's a darker energy that's coming through. I'm going to share this with you. It is a darker energy that's coming through. And these minions in the purple lines are the ones that are relaying that message, because only they can hear the whispers from the shadowy figures. Not everybody can hear. It's coming from one level and kind of being distilled down into this realm where the grumbling men, I'm going to say people, where the grumbling people are just regurgitating that information, not understanding that it's coming from another aspect of life, that, you know, a more subtle aspect of life, these other densities. Now, when you look at the image, you might see something completely different, and it's also relevant. So do share what you perceive in the comments. I've been getting a lot more urgent messages lately. These are not the only messages I share in these weekly sessions. If you do want to read more that I share with you, I write weekly in a newsletter. I will put that link in the description later, and you can subscribe to my email list. I send out messages once a week with letting you know what the energies are for that week and what you can do to take care of yourself when that happens, because, you know, we're all experiencing these cosmic influences as humanity, and yet we are also able to navigate these realms and these times when we're given the proper tools. These are the tools that I use. These are the tools that I offer and teach, and tools that my clients and participants really find valuable. So try them out, see if they work for you. And also check to see if the messages really show up and materialize in your life. and let me know. Okay, so this is completely different feeling of subtle energy and information here. Sometimes it takes me a little bit to. So this energy on the outside that is coming in here is actually breaking up, I'm going to say, this prison. You can kind of see it's a you know, a almost defined state, but there is space. There's always space. Nothing is ever fully solid or contained, but there's also space there simultaneously. So this information coming in, which is actually light, it's another level of light, a high vibration and frequency of light, is coming in, and it's breaking up these denser shadowy patterns, these shadowy states that are influencing our thoughts and our speech and the way we feel, which is on the inside. And so it's actually coming through, getting in there, infusing and saturating this state. And, you know, there's going to be kind of like an implosion moment, or it's not an explosion, it's an implosion. It happens internally. There's going to be dramatic shifts in the world. There's going to be dramatic shifts in your life. If there haven't been already, there are more coming. Nothing to be, you know, worried about in that way, but it's going to invite you to open up and transmute these old patterns and stories that you've been telling yourself, these shadowy aspects of self that you've been, you know, carrying around with you for eons, for a lifetime, for millennia, right? Not just this lifetime. And this light is now facilitating this process of implosion. So it's going to transmute that shadow state to a vast degree. I see it almost completely clear at this point, probably about 96% if I were to calibrate that for you. And then it's just like, oh my gosh, you can see clearly for the first time. You haven't realized, when you think you're cogent and you think you're conscious and you think you're clear, and then you put on these new glasses to perceive this new light in, and you can see the world in a completely new way. We've been kind of, there's almost like, you remember those old slide projector toys where you have the sliding disc and you can change the image? The disc that's in there is not one of our true reality, our true I'm going to say matrix of a sort. Okay, this has been placed in our field of vision, our field of our awareness, of our mind's eye, of our it's blocking our true vision. Let me just say that. So just imagine your third eye being the one viewing this, what are they called? The slide views, right? And the slide view was placed in there, maybe when you were a child, maybe when you were in utero, maybe from your ancestors, maybe from karmic patterns, whatever it is. It's probably a series of slides. And those things are just obscuring your view. They're obscuring the light that's shining through. So you're not perceiving the world as it really is. You're perceiving it through all these different filters, okay? These shadow filters. They're actually projecting shadows out into the world that you're perceiving rather than pure light. So what this light that we've been experiencing over the last several years most intensely is that perception. Sorry, let me bring this drawing back up. So what you've been perceiving over these last several years is this new influx of light, new influx of plasma, of neutrinos, however you want to describe it. And this light is shattering these slides. They're breaking up, okay? So this can appear in the form of, you know, drastic life changes, relationships coming to an end, health issues that are kind of directing you to a new way of living, the way that we've been accustomed to living. We've been living with these obscurations in our way, blocking our orifices, as we say in Chinese medicine. We view it as phlegm obscuring the mind, okay? So, and so this light is coming in, and the frequency of it is such as if a singer were singing to a particular frequency and that glass breaks. This frequency is matching that shadow state, so it's gonna shatter. We've been watching this happen in society. You don't have to look far to see how the shadow is starting to crumble. The structures are starting to fall apart to make way for this new life, new growth, new earth that we are anchoring through us. It's happening through us. It's an embodied state of being. We don't go anywhere to experience that. We actually arrive here more fully and embody our vehicle, which is our divine physical form, which is pure consciousness. Okay, so that's what this time is about. Love to hear your take on this drawing, and let me know in the comments. Okay, let's see now where the sounds take us. Messages are getting a lot more, how would I say, not urgent, but reflective of the necessity to take up the torch that you're here to carry, to really embody your purpose, embody your mission. You know, we are all light workers, empaths, sensitive ones, way showers, star seeds. You know, we are here for this reason, to anchor this light in, and we are constantly being called to do that. And the more that we can be the beacon, that lighthouse for others, the easier it is for them to shine as well. Okay, sounds are coming in. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready? There's a lot you don't know. There's a lot you don't know. And you will never know. And that's when your focus is on the outer world, like trying to really maybe consume as much information as possible. I know for myself, the way that I'm designed to naturally study a lot. I'm a lifetime student, and I have this insatiable desire to learn. But there's also an interesting shadow pattern for myself, that sometimes I seek to learn a lot of information because it gives me comfort. If I don't know enough, I don't feel maybe as confident and secure about certain things. So I'll keep studying until I get a certain level of confidence. Maybe you can relate to that. Oh, thank you, Michaela. I love what you talk about every time. Thank you. Okay. So there's a lot that you don't know, and you will never know. It's not for you to know. You are to know what is here and what is here. You will be shown. This is the light that kind of lights the path as we walk it. And yeah, Sophia, it looked like a virus structure, which makes sense with what you said. I saw that too. I'm going to put that back on the screen. Let me put that back on the screen. I'm glad you said that. Hold on. Give me a second. Okay. Let's see if we see it. There it is. The virus structure. Yeah, I was noticing that as I was drawing that. Very cool. Thank you for sharing. Okay. So the way that I was shown this just a few weeks ago is really interesting to me. So all the organs in Chinese medicine have different senses that they govern, that they're responsible for. Like the ears are the kidneys, the eyes are the liver, the nose is the lungs, etc., etc. And there's more as well. So, but the heart is this aura. Like when you look at someone, you see basically the state of their heart spirit, okay, when you look at their face. And this is a light, this is a glow that they have about them. It's their aura that the heart light emanates, okay? And we take this in on a nonverbal level. And so what I was shown was the heart light that we radiate lights our path. It lights our path so we can see the path as it appears through our heart's light. You saw a sun with an inner explosion. Yeah, I saw that too. Okay. And so when we are seeking the outer world for that information, we're not seeing with our heart's mind or our heart's light. That's not showing the way. It can, I'm going to talk about the way that it does, but typically the way that we do that, when we're coming from the intellect, when we're coming from the brain, looking for information like that, we're not seeing from, doesn't radiate any light. Okay? The brain is designed to be in service of the heart, so they become one. So when we're coherent, then the mind, the heart, mind, and the brain work in harmony. Okay, so what the ball is she's telling to me now, she's showing me a lot of different pathways that are kind of winding about and they're confusing. This is what the brain does, because it doesn't have the perspective or the scope to see from above the way through. So we have to wade through all of this information or misinformation when we focus mostly with our intellect. But when we operate from the heart mind and that light shows the path, it's only going to highlight the path that's meant for us. It's only going to highlight the path that's meant for us. But if we're taking information from the outside, okay, and we're listening with the kidneys, whose primary emotion is fear and who governs the brain, it's the sea of marrow, you can see where the confusion would come in. But when the kidney and the heart are in harmony and aligned, then we're hearing the right information, we're walking the right path, we're attracting the right people. That's when I'm saying the information comes to you in an aligned, harmonious, balanced way. Does that make sense? So follow the heart. But there is a physiology and an energetic resonance and truth behind it that I want to convey. And the way that it was shown to me recently is really that when we let the heart lead the way, it truly does light that up. And people see that light. They might not consciously recognize it, but they'll see that. And then their light begins to shine in resonance with yours by the nature alone. Our heart is communicating with their heart, and it invites them to shine as well. So as we go about our daily life, we have massive impact on the world around us just by our presence alone. We don't have to effort or go out of our way. We just be who we are naturally, authentically, and that's enough. That's everything. That's everything. And when you really embody that point, you become magnetic to life itself. Now, we are magnetic to life itself, but what happens is we begin to block the things that are that we want to magnetize to it because of these different imprints and programming that we have. And so by continuing to drop into these places and practices where we embody these higher states of vibration, it will naturally entrain those lower ones to become resonant with itself. So it's happening on many levels fractally. We're doing it within our own being, and then we go out into the world and we do it with the world around us as well. It's this beautiful way the universe works. Oh, I'm glad it's making sense to you, Michaela. It was a very visual experience. There was a lot more to it where I was able to really experience how our organs really control our body. That might be another talk. It's amazing when you've been studying something for so long. I've been studying Chinese medicine since it's probably 1998, starting off with shiatsu and acupressure. And still, like, my connection and embodiment and understanding of it continues to deepen more and more and more. It's one of the things I love about it. It never ends. Okay. So I think what the sounds want to do now is just take us, we only have a few minutes left, but I just really want to invite us to really just be a receiver of the light that's coming through. There's nothing you need to do. It's already streaming through. So I just want to invite you to pay attention to your body right now. Let's just take a breath. Come together a little bit more. And notice how your body feels. Notice if there's just any restrictions or constrictions anywhere. maybe where it feels open. Just notice how that life force is moving through you and where it's not moving through you. Beautiful. Now with your eyes closed, you're going to gaze up with your eyes closed towards your third eye and crown. And I'm also going to invite you to take your tongue, put it behind your teeth while you're doing this, and then just drag your tongue back along the midline of your palate until you get to the soft palate. It might be uncomfortable for a little while, so just relax the tongue and rest it behind the teeth if that's so. That's just going to help bring that energy from the pelvis all the way up through the spine. Okay, so with your eyes closed, gaze up towards your third eye and crown, and then take your tongue behind your teeth and then slide it along the ridge until you feel the soft palate. Just not all the way back, just when it hits the soft palate. You're not trying to choke yourself or anything. We're just making a connection with the heart, which is the tip of the tongue, to a particular area of the body. There you go. There you go. You feel that, huh? Now you can relax your tongue if you need to. Okay, so while you're doing that, it actually created an opening for you to receive this light that's coming through. So just notice how it comes through to you. I'm tracking it in one way, but I really want you to pay attention to how you're receiving the light, because there's no wrong way for you to notice this. There you go. Beautiful. We also have some helpers, some spirit helpers here today. We always have them. I just don't talk about them very much. But they're here. They're supporting you as you take in this new light. And I feel like, you know, some of you are going to notice significant changes in relationships. So there's also a career change that's happening. So this is all supporting you and having your outer world meet your inner world. The light of your inner world is now going to be reflected on your outer world. So when changes do happen, know that this is just bringing you in alignment with the light that you're now embodying. You're now seeing a new reflection. You're changing out those slides in that Slide Master toy. Okay. So there's also now they're kind of containing or closing on the field for this new information, so it will stay there, and you probably notice it most likely over the next 7 to 14 days. You'll see most clearly. Some a little longer, 3 weeks or so. But what I notice with this work is when these shifts occur, you'll see them usually within 2 weeks, is my experience. But everything is always happening in accordance with divine time, so just trust. I also see people coming your way that are going to come into your circle that haven't known before, that are going to be a great support to you. And there's going to be a clarity of purpose. If you've been a little confused about what you need to do or how you need to do it or where you need to go, there's going to be a clarity of purpose. And I find that there's always a refinement happening, always fine-tuning. Even if your purpose is clear, maybe the way to go about it isn't so clear, so there's going to be some clarity around your purpose. Beautiful. So now I'm seeing the heart light, that heart energy really lighting up the path before you. Now with your mind's eye, just see if you can see the path before you. Notice what it looks like. It's just like when you're driving in on a foggy night and you have your headlights on, you can only see, you can't use your brights, right? Because it'll blind you. So you have to use your regular lights, but you can only see so far ahead. It's like that with the heart light. You can only see so far ahead. Sometimes you can see further ahead, of course. Your heart will shine and illuminate the path for you, however far ahead you need to see. But it knows the way. So just notice what your path looks like before you. And let's play a little game. Just notice yourself going down this path that your heart is illuminating for you. And go down about 1 month from now and notice how your body feels. I feel a lot of joy here. Let's go 6 months from now. Somebody's in a new house. Congratulations on your move. And then a year from now. It's almost unrecognizable. When you look back to this point in time, it's like a totally different person, another life completely. I love that. Okay, dear ones. So I really invite you to practice allowing yourself, you can even get into that state pretty quickly like we did today. Just close your eyes, gaze up towards the third eye and crown, and then move the tongue back towards the soft palate. And then just wait. And then see if you can feel your heart lighting the path, and play the games. Just follow it. Just completely trust it and see what happens. Of course, the mind might want to get in the brain, right? Might want to get in there with all of the doubts and questions and stuff, and that's okay. But you can talk yourself through it and say, let's just play. Let's see what happens. And I find that most of the time, you know, that part of you wants to go along with it, because that part of you actually does want the same thing that your heart wants, but it's just trying to keep you safe. So just make it a game, and that part of you always loves to play games. And then that way you can test it for yourself without having to really push yourself beyond an edge, right? It's a comfortable exploration and experimentation. Okay, dear ones, I wish you such a beautiful day. Do remember to register for Sonic Acupuncture next Tuesday, April 11th. The link is in the description. And again, all your proceeds, your contribution, and your presence go to benefit the foundation and other people's well-being. It's just such a beautiful space for that. You can also check out the trance healing coming up at the end of the month with Tiago. And I will be offering, and sign up for my newsletter. I have a special giveaway that I'm actually going to be sending out the next day or so. And I would love for you to be a part of that, where you can actually win a session with me privately. And the details for that will be coming out in the email soon. So I will put the link for you to sign up for my newsletter so you don't miss out on that. And I wish you a beautiful spring day. And I want to tell you that there is this mama bird in our backyard who's been building a nest. She's a little bird. And it's been so amazing watching her do this. And yesterday morning, her nest was empty. And yesterday afternoon, there was one speckled blue egg. And then today there were 2. So there's so much new growth. Life is always happening. It's always adaptable. So just spend some time taking in the beauty and divinity of creation itself and nature, and let that be an inspiration to you as well. Thank you so much for harmonizing the nature of oneself with me, and I wish you infinite blessings and love. See you next time.